Okay, good morning. I'm hoping that everyone has actually joined our call right now, or we might just give it another 30 seconds just to let people join us. I'm just going to make sure that Met can hear me properly. Um,
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, and hopefully everyone can see my screen. So you're joining the session today regarding the overview of the Fusion 360 extensions. So hopefully by now people should have trickled into the session. So yes, as like I said, we'll get started in a moment. Firstly, thank you very much for actually taking the time to kind of join the session today regarding these extensions. I'm going to be honest, straight off the bat. I've come from a sales background, and I'm working now as a channel manager for Fusion 360 in EMEA, and I'll do a bit more of an introduction in a moment. So I'm going to give you a very high level overview of these extensions today. And during the presentation, I will also push you to join the breakout sessions that we have throughout the next 2 days, where you can learn more about these extensions. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a taster today. Also, I'm going to say a quick thank you to all the partners who've obviously actually set this whole session up and set all these events up. So yes, that's looking forward to actually kind of going through this. Okay, so this is our agenda today. So this is just like I say, a quick overview of kind of what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to run through an introduction to Fusion 360. I think it's important for us just to get a very good kind of base understanding as to what Fusion 360 is before we delve into the extensions. The next up, we have actually how to access our extensions. Again, it's important if you're looking to understand more about these and you want to understand where you go and find more information or take trials out. It's important for you to understand how you do so. So we'll touch on that as well. And then obviously the reason why you're joining the call today is the extension overview. So I'm going to run through, I believe it's 7 extensions. It should be all of our extensions that are currently live for Fusion 360. So I think it's 7. And then at the end of the session, I'm just going to touch on a few key takeaways from what we've spoken about today. So yes, without further ado, we'll get started. Like I say, you should now see a big picture of my face. So I'm Harrison Knight. Like I said, running you through the session this morning. So just so you know who I am, I've basically worked here at Autodesk now since July 2015, and throughout that time, working at Autodesk, I've basically worked the entire time inside the manufacturing industry, doing various different roles. So I spent the first 3 or 4 years here working in what we call the core manufacturing business, where we kind of talk about things like Inventor and the product design and manufacturing collection. And right now, obviously, working inside the Fusion 360 team, which is my favorite place. So that's good. And I'm currently living out in Barcelona. I've been out in Barcelona now for about 8 years. I have to admit, it certainly beats the UK in terms of finishing work and going to the beach or the mountains and have a bit of sunshine. But yes, that's enough about myself. Let's actually delve into some of the topics we're here for. So let's start, like I said, with a quick understanding of actually Fusion 360. So as most of you are probably aware, Fusion 360 is basically a cloud-based 3D modeling, CAD, CAM, CAE, and PCB software for design and manufacturing. So first of all, Fusion 360 will flex to your kind of requirements. So what do I mean by this? So Fusion offers you the flexible and intuitive platform that can be configured to your team's size, your team's use case, and also workflow. And this means that you can then get access to the enterprise-grade features and services that you need, and you only pay for actually what you require. And then Fusion hopefully will help you make intelligent decision-making I've forgotten the word now, but hopefully it'll help you with the intelligent decision-making powers. So an example of this, and we'll touch on it later on today, is using generative design. So you can identify thousands of solutions of the problem that you've defined. It'll then simulate the performance and optimize it for your constraints and manufacturing capabilities. And so you can actually get more high performing, cost effective, and sustainable designs that you perhaps couldn't have reached on your own. And even if you could have reached it on your own, you would be doing it much faster using something like generative design. So the integrated platform of Fusion 360 connects your entire product development and manufacturing ecosystem with a central cloud-based model. So eliminating that friction between people, activities, and machines. So effectively, your teams now can collaborate, hopefully more seamlessly, and then spend more time on the innovation rather than the iteration. Oops, sorry. And then so hopefully moving your business and industry forward with Fusion 360. So Fusion's investing in the future of product development and manufacturing, catalyzing the innovation across many different disciplines. So your team should have the tools now to automate mundane tasks, the agility to connect to manage supply networks, access the latest manufacturing technologies to really realize the previously impossible outcomes that we've already spoken about. And hopefully, if I click the right button, there we go. So this slide will play for us now. So Fusion 360, like I said at the very start, is not just a CAD tool, nor is it just a CAM tool or simulation, documentation. Fusion 360 really is all of those things. And so the good thing with Fusion 360, again, hopefully you're aware of this already, but with it being cloud connected and device independent, it's on the cloud, it's available anywhere on any device at any time. And then just finally, so Fusion 360 can really connect your entire product development process like we've already spoken about. And you can see here every single phase it's able to do so because it's on that single integrated platform. So how do you actually go about getting the extensions, and how do you purchase them and everything else? So we're going to talk about this now. So first of all, what do they do, the extensions? Well, the extensions essentially allow you to actually unlock the advanced design and manufacturing capabilities inside Fusion 360. So you'll be able to gain access to capabilities such as complex machining strategies or generative design and additive manufacturing workflows. And you'll also be able to customize your experience to align with what your project timelines kind of constraint you to. So if you need it for a monthly time, you can do so, or obviously on the annual subscription should your work be more consistent. So where do you then go about accessing these extensions? Well, I touched on it at the start. We obviously have trials available for these Fusion 360 extensions. My recommendation to you is reach out to your Autodesk approved partner who's probably on this call or invited you to this event today. And the reason I say this is with your Autodesk partner, you'll be able to schedule a workflow review, just a topic, a call with them to kind of go through and understand exactly where you would benefit from using one of the Fusion 360 extensions. And I've always stated that this is the best way to do a trial. The reason B is, you have 7 days to trial one of these extensions. But you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this time possible, and your partner will be the person best set up to make sure that's the case. So in terms of kind of what solutions we have for you to actually maybe go ahead and purchase these extensions, we kind of have two options for you. So we have the on-demand or flex access. So the on-demand and flex access will allow you to purchase tokens, and then when you need to use advanced capabilities within the extension, you can purchase the additional capabilities on an ad hoc basis. However, as soon as you start requiring these features on a more regular basis, the way you should be going forward is working with your partner and going through the subscription access, which is an unlimited named user access to all the advanced capabilities within inside the extension. and we have those available on an annual license for you. So Fusion 360 at its very core, as you can see here, is a very broad and very powerful software. So Fusion 360 offers you the possibility to use 2D and 3D CAD functions, assembly sheet or FEA, or which is finite element method analysis. Furthermore, Fusion Core also gives you the possibility to create components and projects, the ability to access 2D and 3D multi-axis machining, along with zero touching. And you also have tools in there offered to help you in terms of programming FFF 3D printing machines. So you might be asking, well, what do the extensions do again? So, well, they give you the option to actually extend those capabilities of Fusion 360 Core by adding high profile features to each of these required scopes with the machining, design, or even the additive side of things. So for example, the machining section of Fusion 360 Core is enhanced with additional features like nesting and fabrication, or steep and shallow. We have part alignment, geometry probing, rotary access. We have a whole host of different enhancements that come with the things like machining extension or the nesting and fabrication extension. And the same can be said if you look at the 2D or 3D CAD part of Autodesk. And the design side, you can add the product design extension or even maybe the simulation side of things. And one of the more exciting ones I like is the generative design, which again, we will touch on later today. So that's kind of my quick whistle stop tour of Fusion 360 Core. And now we'll try and move on to the extensions and kind of obviously why we're here. So the first one we're going to touch on is the simulation extension. So the Fusion 360 simulation extension is basically a set of simulation study types to actually help you investigate in your 3D design if it can be manufactured or how it may perform under real life conditions before then being manufactured. So you can analyze that performance then and actually manufacturability of your 3D designs to then ensure that they will meet the demands of real world conditions with structural or thermal and explicit simulation tools. The actual simulation extension also includes things like injection molding simulation studies to help you in getting plastic injection molding insights for your 3D design. And so obviously you can read through the screen as you're listening to me talk, but some of the benefits of this extension are being able to simulate what you need when you need it. So when you need to have access with a wide range, sorry, my voice is going. It's only the start of the day. That's a good starting. So when you need it with access to a wide range of advanced finite element analysis or the FEA simulation capabilities, which utilize those trusted solvers from mature simulation software. You'll be able to simplify and revise your simulation CAD models and then simulate the studies to then modify and compare the design changes without the need to actually export those models. And then finally, you can actually detect and visualize moldability and predicted part quality of your injection molds, plastic parts, and then you benefit from those design change recommendations before finalizing your 3D designs. And so, like I say, these are only going to be high-level overviews of each of these extensions today. We're not going to delve in deep into every single part of the extension, but like I mentioned at the start, you're going to get bored of me saying it, but we have a breakout session today, tomorrow, between 11 and 11:40 on day 2, which I would strongly recommend joining if the simulation extension is something you wish to learn more about. So the generative design, this is one that we spoke about at the start, and it's one for me that is, well, it's probably my favorite. So the generative design is effectively changing the way manufacturers and designing, fabricating products. And so you're now actually able to access an expanding repository of generative design resources to inspire new ideas and deepen your team's skill sets whilst gaining the insight into the AI-driven technology. So what is generative design? Well, generative design technology effectively expands your ability to deliver and innovate designs and engineering solutions. And it does this based on parameters such as performance or spatial requirements, materials, manufacturing methods, and cost constraints. And then generative design software simultaneously creates multiple CAD alternatives. And so that's something that's really exciting. And this is what we were saying earlier, that they can do this so quickly. Sometimes it's things that perhaps humans can't actually even compute, and that's why generative design for me is so amazing. So what are the benefits of the generative design? So first of all, lightweighting. So you can quickly identify solutions to minimize mass and material use while maintaining performance standards. So meeting design goals and also respecting the engineering constraints. The performance impact means you'll be able to actually evaluate multiple manufacturing methods using generative design, and you'll be able to discover solutions to improve and optimize the product durability whilst eliminating areas of weakness. You have the option to do things like part consolidation. So you can explore a whole range of design solutions that actually allow you to consolidate those multiple components into solid parts, reducing assembly costs and simplifying your supply chain. And lastly, as everyone wants to improve sustainability, you can obviously meet your company's sustainability goals by using generative design to lightweight your products, creating less production waste, and helping you select more sustainable materials. So that is the quick overview of the generative design. Again, we have the breakout session where you can learn a whole host more information with Lars. That's today at 11 a.m. So hopefully, if you're interested in learning more about the generative design, you've already signed up for that session. But yes, that's at 11 o'clock this morning. So the product design extension. So the product design extension essentially extends the core 3D design and modeling capabilities of Autodesk Fusion 360. So the product design extension focuses on consumer products and automating and speeding up the design process. So you now have access to design tools that basically automate and simplify the creation of manufacturing aware features. So you'll gain the ability to get design insight to ensure your plastic parts are then manufacturable. In terms of some of the benefits of the product design extension, you had the ability to make complex 3D modeling hopefully easier. So we do this by enhancing the performance and the aesthetics of your products with advanced tool sets that then help you actually easily create that complex geometry. And then you'll be able to hopefully save time with things like automation. So you can focus more time on the function and aesthetics of your product with the specialized tools that actually increase the 3D modeling efficiency and accelerate the design change process. And lastly, you can then manufacture better products, and you can manufacture the better products faster. So you can improve your product performance with intelligent design strategies and better prepare your 3D designs for the shop floor with the manufacturing aware capabilities. You probably won't believe it, but we have another breakout session, which I'm going to make sure you're aware of. So we've got another session today, on day 2, with Mikkel at 12:30. All of the sessions are 40 minutes long. And like I said, again, I'm going to keep on telling you about them so you're aware of them. So we have another session on the product design extension tomorrow at 12:30. So the Fusion 360 Managed Extension. So this was introduced last year, 2021. It's amazing how all the years of the last few years have just molded into one. So yes, it was released last year and the idea was to introduce this and give you advanced data management capabilities to the Fusion 360. So with this new extension, users will have the additional tools to then release designs and drawing revisions, automate numbering, and essentially explore a change control process. the reason we did this is change is inevitable with product development, and it can introduce a lot of confusion if it's not handled properly. And so a simple mistake like moving two numbers within a part or drawing number can lead to scheduling delays, scrap or rework. And similarly, when there are dozens of versions of a design or drawing, understanding which version is the final one, that should be made or bought by customers, and that can become very confusing. So there simply isn't enough information to then give the consumers confidence that they're grabbing the right version. So now with Fusion 360 Manage, you should hopefully start to overcome some of these challenges. And funnily enough, there's another breakout session on day 2. It's at 10 a.m. and it's with Stefan. So if you're interested in learning more how Fusion Manage extension will help overcome some of those challenges you're facing regarding the data, then that's the session for you to go ahead and join. So the machining extension has been around, but it hasn't probably. It is the longest serving Fusion 360 extension. So it's probably our most mature in the sense of the capabilities of the software. And so Fusion 360 will basically unlock access to the additional CAM capabilities within inside the Fusion 360. So that's including things like 3+2 machining or 4 and 5 axis simultaneous. You'll have toolpath modifications, surface inspection, and we talked about probing. There's much more in there as well. So the whole point of the machining extension is it's going to be a cost option that basically unlocks this additional CAM capabilities within Fusion 360. So allowing you to actually make better use of your 5-axis CNC machinery. It will allow you to produce higher quality parts as well from doing so. And you can choose from a range of flexible payment options like we spoke about at the start that obviously best suit your business need for the machining extension and for all the extensions. So the whole benefits of this is to simplify and actually automate some of your CAM programming. So you'll be able to automate that CNC machining workflows to reduce the programming time. And this should hopefully do things like removing repetitive tasks and reduce human errors. So you will be able to do better quality parts. You'll unlock advanced machining strategies to actually improve the performance of your CNC machines and then produce higher quality parts from doing so. And the idea as well of avoiding kind of overpriced software. So you'll get flexible access, like I've already mentioned, to advanced CAM technologies as and when you need it. You can also, like I said, obviously look through, as I've been talking to all of these extensions. Obviously, we have all the benefits and the capabilities up on the screen anyway for you to read through as you please. There's also going to be another breakout session with Ricard, and that's today at 12:30. So again, if you're interested in learning more about the machining extensions and the extended capabilities of the machining extension, I would recommend joining this and understanding a little bit more about that. So the nesting and fabrication extension. So this is a extension that's been out now for, well, actually I can't remember how long it's been out now, but it's been out for some while now. And it will actually unlock advanced nesting and fabrication capabilities, funnily enough, to create optimized and associative multi-sheet layouts for sheet metal and non-sheet metal parts in preparation for cutting on CNC machines. And you'll be able to do things like nest preparation. So you can actually quickly prepare your model for nesting and then set nesting parameters per the material for the optimal stock usage. You can do things like compare and report. So your team can configure and view key metric like cost, material usage, and then stack size for earlier job quoting and also earlier purchasing decisions. You've also got the idea of fabrication, which will give you the ability to create toolpaths to drive a variety of the machines with fully integrated and easy to use CAM. There's also a nesting and fabrication extension breakout session, funnily enough, on day 1 at 11 o'clock with Stefan. So again, if this is something that you're thinking about or doing and you're looking to try and take away some of the pains, then the nesting and fabrication extension session will be the one for you to join, and Stefan is doing that today. So now we move on to the last of the extensions that we have right now. So this is the additive build extension. So first of all, what is the Fusion 360 additive build extension? So this extension effectively allows you to unlock additional additive manufacturing technologies inside Fusion 360. And it does this by using the metal powder bed machines to produce lighter, stronger, and better performing parts, whilst reducing the material waste and cost. You can access advanced controls to automatically orient parts and generate fully associative support structures, and then arrange parts on your platforms to optimize the use of your build volume. Slice your models, generate and visualize additive toolpaths, and then export machine-specific build files in a range of native file formats. In terms of some of the actual benefits of the additive build extension, you can select the 3D print parameters. So you can select from the most popular metal additive 3D printers to configure Fusion 360's manufacture workspace for your process. You can orient parts, so you can actually identify the ideal orientation for your parts to minimize support material while achieving the best surface quality and a successful print. Then there's the associative design and the manufacturing data. So you can connect your design data to the manufacturing seamlessly. You can then set up manufacturing once and let Fusion 360 update as needed when the change of the when you change the actual design, which is a nice time saver. You'll notice this is the only session. This is the only extension we don't have a breakout session for. However, if you are interested in the additive build extension, like I've already spoken to you about this morning, reach out to your partners. They will still be able to offer you help and support regarding this. So if you have any questions, still feel free to get in touch with anybody at your partner. So those were the extensions that we have right now. And that was, like I said, I was only going to do a high level overview of these extensions, just to kind of give you a taster before you go ahead and join some of the breakout sessions later today. And obviously tomorrow as well. But I also wanted to spend a couple of minutes today talking regarding the Fusion 360 persona packages. So hold on one second. So the persona packages are a new offering from Autodesk. And this has been going since February 7th. So first of all, what are they? I'll go through them in a second, but they're essentially two separate packages for two different personas that encompass the extensions that we feel fit that particular persona. And the reason for that is we've seen lots of customers over the last 2.5 years, when they've been purchasing Fusion 360, then go ahead and purchase different extensions to add on to their Fusion-based platform, which is great. And so after seeing this, especially if they're purchasing more than one extension, we recognize that it might be a better way for us to work, and the persona offerings is that better way for someone who maybe is a manufacturer to come in and go, I need the nesting fabrication extension, and I might need the machining extension sometimes. Well, we wanted to come up with a way that it was easy for them just to have access to all those without having to purchase separately the extensions. So first of all, we have the Fusion 360 for product design offering. So first of all, apologies that the pricing is in dollars, but you should hopefully at least have an idea of kind of what that is. So just to give you a bit of an understanding, so the Fusion 360 for product design is an integrated engineering and design solution for product development organizations. So it includes industry-leading Fusion 360 as a base. You have the product design extension to model the most complex designs. You have the simulation extension to perform the advanced simulation studies, and then the fully integrated managed extension to keep track of your data across different departments and geographies. So this will also allow you to focus more time on the function and aesthetics of your products as you actually apply specialized tools for that increased modeling efficiency and editing capabilities. So Fusion 360 for product design is then built for organizations that want to maybe increase innovation or reduce development costs and then start manufacturing sooner. And as you can see, like I said, the products that are included are the base Fusion 360, the product design extension, the managed extension, and the simulation extension. And so this is what we deem the extensions that would best suit someone within that product design portfolio. However, that doesn't mean they can't still add, say, the generative design extension that they might be interested in. You can certainly add that still a la carte next to the persona offering. And I want to make sure that it's obviously aware that we're not taking away the a la carte option. Some people and companies prefer purchasing software this way. This was just to give people the option and what works best for them. So with that, we also have the Fusion 360 for manufacturing. So the Autodesk Fusion 360 for manufacturing is, again, an integrated solution for product development, manufacturing organizations. So it includes the core Fusion 360, documentation and visualization, the machining extension, nesting and fabrication, along with the additive build extension, which can help bring your products to life with advanced machining, fabrication, and then 3D printing capabilities. So the product design extension and the managed extension are, again, enabling the design innovation and keeping track of that data across those different departments and geographies. And again, the Fusion 360 for manufacturing is built for organizations that still want to increase the innovation and reduce that the development cost, and again, start manufacturing sooner. So again, much like the product design extension, so the product design offering, the extensions are actually included are specific to the machining persona or the manufacturing persona. So you can see that we have we don't have the generative design in there. That doesn't mean, again, that you can't add it should you want it. But these are what we felt were the ones that better suited that particular persona. You can see that the pricing is slightly more compared to the product design extension, and this is simply due to the fact that we have a couple more extensions within inside this portfolio. And so a couple of the key takeaways that I kind of wanted to touch on as I kind of bring you to a close today. First of all, the breakout sessions. Hopefully you haven't got sick and tired of me saying join breakout sessions. But what you should be doing is, hopefully over the time that I've been talking, taking note of the ones that have been interesting to you. And if you are interested in learning more about those, please make sure that you join the breakout sessions that are relevant to you. So you've got, I think, 6 options over the next 2 days, and you've got some great speakers doing those sessions. So it will be of great value to you to obviously to take a look at those. Then the persona packages, they're just there as a new, simpler way for you to start using Fusion 360. They're something that we've released a couple of months ago, and so that was just something for me to talk to you through today to make sure that everyone's aware of what you now have available. And then you have the extensions. So I really want you to understand the power of the extended capability of the Fusion 360 extensions. We offer you much more depth and functionality within them, and if you want to start exploring this, like I mentioned at the very start, the way to start exploring it is work with your partner to take out a trial, set up a phone call, set up a demo that you might require to understand those full capabilities. And so with that, I would like to obviously end my session. Obviously, if there's any questions, then please put them in the chat, or if Meta has got anything, she can obviously ask me now. I also just want to remind anybody who's watching the call, once this is finished, if you go back to the Fusion Summit lobby after the call, and then you can join the next session from there.